Hey everybody, welcome to my very first episode of what hairstyle would actually look good on me. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be covering different hairstyles, what the hairstyle is, what is the history behind it, who it looks best on, what face shapes work best for these different hairstyles, which hair types work best for the hairstyle, how much maintenance these hairstyles require. It's quite a big range. The pros and cons of each individual hairstyle as I go over them each week. Styling tips, recommended products to make them look just right, and what you should ask your barber when you actually go in. Sometimes just bringing a picture helps, but getting a better understanding of what you're actually trying to accomplish long term is really helpful too, because a lot of the times the barbers can't just do it in one cut. They have to grow out certain areas, trim back other areas. So typically it can take a number of weeks as you actually grow into the hairstyle. So we'll go into, what do you want, how do you want to approach this with your barber, and what should you actually talk about? And then you should, what is the right choice of this style based on your lifestyle, right? So if you're athletic, maybe you want a buzz cut. Maybe that's just easiest for you. If you do a lot of like clubbing or going out to parties and things like that, and you're okay doing a little extra maintenance, then some of these other hairstyles work best for you as well. The truth is that the right haircut can completely change the way that you look. It can make your face appear more balanced, your hair look thicker, and even make you look younger and more confident. On the other hand, the wrong haircut can emphasize features you probably don't want to draw attention to. By the end of the series that I'm going to be giving over the next few weeks, you should have a much better understanding of which hairstyle fits you, instead of just going to the barber and telling them to do the same thing that you've been doing for the past 3 years. Okay, so this first week, I'm going to start with the buzz cut, right? So what is a buzz cut? Well, buzz cut is exactly what it sounds like. You go into the barber, you ask the barber for a buzz cut. He takes out the clippers and he cuts your entire head to with the clippers, and basically just buzzes everything short. Similar to what you would get your first day in the military, right? They're just shaving everything off. Not much consideration to style, generally speaking, or at least that's what people think. I'll show you it can actually do quite a bit with that. It's one of the oldest and most recognizable men's hairstyles. Yes, it is a style. Originally popularized by the military because of its clean, practical, and easy to maintain look. Again, if you're very active into sports, sometimes this is a very easy haircut to use. As well as actors, entrepreneurs, busy folks, right? If you've got a really nicely shaped head, this actually helps out quite a bit. So if you are an actor, there's no guarantees it's going to work for you. Some people can pull it off and some people can't, where image is very important. So who does it look best on? So I mentioned, depending on the shape of your head, what your profession is, what you like to do in your spare time, this may or may not be a good haircut for you. There's actually certain types of shapes of your head and your face that actually makes this actually work better, right? So if you have an oval faced shape, typically a buzz cut is going to look a lot better on you, or a square face shape as well. If you have a strong jawline, that typically really helps accentuate your jawline by having the short hair. Again, between your hair, your facial features, you're usually trying to draw attention to the best characteristics of your face, right? So by having a buzz cut, you can accentuate other parts of your face, like if you have for example, a good jawline. If you have very balanced facial proportions, that helps a lot as well. It kind of accentuates that clean look that you're kind of naturally born with. So you want to accentuate that. Or especially if you have really thick or evenly distributed hair. I think one of the downsides to a buzz cut is that you're seeing basically like all of your hair all over your head. So typically, if you have thick hair, a lot of hair follicles, that it'll actually look a lot better if you do it that way. Okay, so buzz cuts aren't just the military style buzz cuts. There's actually ways that you can have kind of like a blended buzz cut. So you can have some straight hair with it, some wavy hair, even curly hair or coarse hair. You can do the sides, you can do a fade. I generally typically get a buzz cut. I'll do a number 4 on the sides when I go in, and then they'll kind of fade it in, right? So I think that works best for me, I've found over the years. I've also had buzz cuts over the years, and uh, I think it's worked pretty well. I've definitely gotten some good feedback on the buzz cuts that I've gotten over the years. But for me, I like to have a little more hair, right, as well. So the pros of them are pretty reasonable. It's very easy to maintain. It's incredibly low maintenance. You can get ready in seconds. You don't have to brush your hair. Not that I do or did today, and I don't have a buzz cut, but that's kind of the point too. Um, if you go to the gym frequently, play sports, or simply just don't want to take time styling your hair, this is a great way to go. Some of the cons with buzz cuts, at least the biggest downsides, is that it exposes everything. As I mentioned earlier, if you have like a weird head shape, or if you have, really large scars on your head, or kind of bumps, or even colics can really be accentuated on a buzz cut. Sometimes that can be a little more difficult. It tends to accentuate and kind of highlight those features, obviously. And another consideration is the maintenance too. So even though it's easy to live with, you probably want it touched up every 2 or 3 weeks. It's not like having long hair where if you grow an extra half an inch over a month, that it kind of works well. The problem with the buzz cut, it's like it's either a buzz cut or it's not. Even on the sides and things, right? Because once it starts growing out to like a half inch, it's not a buzz cut, and it can be hard to maintain as you're trying to get back into like a longer hairstyle. So it's kind of committing, because you can't add the hair back that you cut off, obviously, right? So styling and grooming, yes, you can style and groom a buzz cut. There's kind of very limited ways to do that, but you absolutely can. For example, if you have facial hair, you can keep your beard very clean and well shaped while you have a buzz cut, because this will naturally, people will naturally pay more attention to your face. So by having a buzz cut, like I mentioned earlier, people will begin focusing on other facial features that you have. So if you like have that really strong jawline, or if you have a very symmetrical or sort of round face, you'll be able to highlight that. And then what it'll also draw attention to more is your beard. So, if you have a short beard with a buzz cut and it's a very well groomed beard, it can look really nice together. Typically doing like a buzz cut with a long beard, um, you know, doesn't typically work very well, for example, right? So if you're going to go get a buzz cut and you want to go into the barber, it's pretty simple. Just walk in and say, "Yeah, I want a buzz cut." They'll know exactly what you're talking about. Tell them what clipper guard you'd like. It's typically a 1 through a 5 that you would choose. I usually do a 4. I don't get a full buzz cut. I just do the sides and I fade it in. 4 seems pretty good to me. It's nice and short. Sometimes I'll go a little bit shorter if my hair is longer on the top and create a bit of a sort of a juxtaposition between the two. That tends to work well for me sometimes. For example, if you do go into your bar, he's gonna when they ask you like what size clipper do you want. If you want a military style haircut, just short the whole thing, just tell them you want a number 1. That'll be really short. It'll last you longer. You'll get a couple of weeks out of it before it starts getting to that like long buzz cut weird length. If you get a number 2, you'll get a little more coverage. It'll look a little more full. Again, you'll have to get that touched up a little bit more because you're getting into that phase of weird buzz cut, kind of longer hair a little bit earlier. And then 3 to 4 if you want a softer appearance. So for me, typically I go in once every 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes a month even, depending on what I've got coming up. If I have like work events, I'll usually go in more. Then I'll get a number 4, and that's enough time to I can just get it on the sides and grow it out. If I did a number 4 for my whole head, and then waited 2 weeks, I'd definitely be into like a weird buzz cut phase, and I wouldn't want to go to like work events with like kind of like weird hair, right? The question is the buzz cut right for you? If you want a clean, masculine, and kind of timeless hairstyle that's really easy to maintain, it's kind of a hard haircut to beat, frankly. But just remember, everything is exposed. Parts of your head, your shape of your head, you're just going to accentuate your face more, all the things I talked about earlier. So to kind of close it out, that's the buzz cut. In the next episode, we'll cover the crew cut. A little bit more maintenance, a little bit more style with that. Also a very classic hairstyle. And it's also one of the most versatile hairstyles a man can wear. It's a great option if you want to do something that's still clean, not quite a buzz cut. It can also come across as very professional and offers a little bit more flexibility. If you're enjoying the series, please subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And please let me know in the comments, have you ever had a buzz cut? And if you have, have you ever been afraid to try one? Or if you haven't, rather, if you're thinking about it and you thought it would be easy and you're kind of afraid to do it, like what are you worried about? And, what's the sort of downsides to that? So I'd love to hear your feedback. Okay, until next week when we talk about crew cuts, have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.